Pick up the phone, child, because I got to talk to you. All right, pick up the phone because I have got to talk to you. What is going on, everyone? It's me, Troi, and I'm here with another FauxCast video. I want to say thanks to everybody who recently commented, like, and subscribe. And a special shout out to those who like my FauxCast videos, you know, regardless of me not being on the camera and stuff. I like making them because they're just easier. And I just want to make, like, I tell people all the time, like, my channel, I'm not trying to be anyone's instructor or professor or book guru or anything. I'm really just your online friend who just want to get on the phone and chat with you about a book that I just finished reading. That's what it boils down to. Because I want to talk about my DNFing of Mom's the Word by Kate Collins. And this is the first book in her... Abby is the name of the main protagonist, which I just got this buzzing in the back of my head as to wondering why Abby seems to be a popular name within this genre of reading. But nonetheless, her name is Abby and she owns a flower shop. Abby has an interesting background in which she quit law school to open up this flower shop, and it's not really an encouraging career change to her family, but nonetheless, I think she's kind of upper middle class. You know, there's a country club involved with her family, and fortunately, she's really ditzy. She's one of those daffy, I used to call them daffy donut shop girls, but she's the daffy flower shop girl. That is one of my pet peeves when it comes to the cozy mystery genre. But that wasn't the glowing factor that caused me to DNF this book. But just to set the stage, at the beginning of the book, she's pulling up to her flower shop. She has a yellow Corvette. Someone backs up into her Corvette and, you know, subsequently leads to a crash. But furthermore, it's a hit and run. The perpetrator ends up fleeing from the scene. She gets his license plate number and writes it quickly on her arm, and then proceeds to go into the flower shop to get the authorities involved. Immediately before we even get into the whole topic of the flower shop, we are bombarded with two things. We are bombarded with two other characters. Before we can really get into the character of Abby, one character helps her with the flower shop. The other character is over a tea shop next door. I really would wish the author would just get rid of the tea shop. I know it's crazy, but I was like, okay, all right, we're doing a bit too much. I see it coming. We're doing a bit too much, but we have two characters. They're coming on stage. So that was one thing that drew me back. I guess it's three things. It's two characters suddenly being introduced. The whole subject of here's the flower shop, but adjacent to the flower shop is a tea shop. Doing too much. But the most important thing is the author bombarded us with info dumps on character. Info dumps on Abby's history, even going further down the line into that of her parents. Info dumps on the two other characters that are in the shop helping her out, working around her and everything. Already info dumping. But here is the catch. I got to page 18, which is the end of chapter 2, and I'm going to read what made me scream in my fellow gorge. He had gleaming black hair, wore a black leather motorcycle jacket, blue denims that appeared to have been sprayed onto his long legs and polished to a sheen black boots. He turned his head toward the doorway and smiled, obviously spotting the two pairs of eyeballs gaping at him. He had olive-colored skin, dark eyes framed by darker eyebrows, and a cocky stance. He didn't appear to be a danger, but he did look dangerous. A woman would understand the difference. Child, listen to me. I was like, oh no. No, Miss Collins, please, Miss Collins, please don't do this to me. Do not do this to me. We're only 18 pages in. You've already bombarded us with character info dumping information. We haven't gotten to the topic of flowers for real, and you're already throwing the love interest on stage. And on top of that, you're describing him like a fantasy man. I want to scream. It's like, okay, first of all, why do men always have to have olive skin and dark hair? You feel what I'm saying? It's always olive skin. And they either have olive skin or almond-shaped dark eyes. But yes, this is the end of chapter 2 on page 18. Oh my gosh. I said, here we go. Now, just to back it up a little bit, well, you know what? Let's proceed forward because there was more to it. So, Grace opened the curtain and said crisply, Grace is one of the girl who presides over the tea shop. You may come in, sir. As the man passed, she fixed him with a warning glance, then left, making sure to leave the curtain pulled back. I stood behind the work table with my arms folded. This is Abby because it is first person. The classic defense posture. I rolled my eyes. Marco, I want to say his name is Savati. I wanted to say it's a European last name. We get that much, so I'm guessing it's Italian. But I was thinking either Italian or Spanish, but mostly Spanish. But anyway, listen to this anyway. He's saying his name, Marco Savary. I'm just saying it like that. It's spelled Salvare. But listen, Marco, come on, Marco. And then like I said, that European last name that's so far removed from Americans like Abby. Give me a break. It's so typical. It's so typical. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, this author, this is no shade. Because like I said, some books just aren't meant for some people. And this is obviously not meant for me. I'm glad that other people enjoy it though. Because it's a long running series. But I mean, she's throwing them at it. This author is throwing it. I think I'm catching the bullets here on this, but she's throwing it. But anyway. Marco, I pronounce it Salvari, he said, reaching across the table to shake my hand. Abby Knight, what can I do for you? I saw his gaze dart to my bosom, another unfortunate aspect of my physique. I'm small and busty, a terrible combination for any female who has ever had aspirations of being taken seriously. I gagged totally, and I'm going to tell you why. Why are you... Oh my goodness, here we go. Okay, here we go with the body thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, why are you lowering your character already? Let's not do that. The body thing. I just couldn't just let that go. But anyway, he says, it's what I can do for you, Abby. Very suggestive, of course. He lifted his eyebrows, as I said, suggestively. I gave his lean body a cool appraisal. He didn't look like a salesman, but he sounded like one. What can you do for me, Mrs. Savati? Is not call me Abby. It's Miss Knight to you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, oh my God. Abby girl. Abby. Shut up. I was like, not Miss Abby. Is that how she's checking him? Miss Abby, when we all know she's giving him attitude and fever because we all know that she wants him already. All right, keep going. So one corner of his mouth curved up. He unzipped his jacket and pulled a card from an inner pocket, revealing a black t-shirt stretched taut over a six-pack waist. Oh my God. I took the card and glanced at the script. Down the hatch bar and grill, Marco V. Savati, owner. Because he owns a bar down the street from her flower shop. She was wondering who was the new owner, and here he is. So this was the bar's new management. He was quite a hunk, actually, but way too cocky for his own good. Tossing his card on the desk behind me, I eyed him skeptically. What can you do for me? There we go. Girl, we know what you're trying to say. Get you the information you're looking for, he answered. How do you know I'm looking for information? His cocky grin dissolved, replaced by a somewhat sheepish look. I overheard your conversation with your mother. She's not my mother. Sorry? The mother is the other woman who works in the shop. I brushed a stray lemon leaf off the table. What kind of information? Name and registration of the guy who hit your car? Did you see the accident? Jingles told me about it. Jingles? The image of a tiny man with pointed ears and turned up shoes popped into my mind. The window washer. It's his nickname. He has a habit of jingling the coins in his pockets. If you want to know what's happening on the square, ask Jingles. Um, who wanna guess that Jingles is the killer? That's a big reach, but so Abby's thinking, why hadn't I known that? So, Marco said, folding his arms across that broad expanse of chest, do you want my help or not? I'm not normally suspicious of people, but this guy was too smooth. And just what is it you want in return, Mr. Savary? Flowers, 1 dozen. That seemed a fair enough exchange. 1 dozen of what kind? He leaned across the table so close I could smell his aftershave, a masculine, spicy scent that made my insides quiver. You pick out something for me, he said in a husky voice. It took a full minute of gazing into those spellbinding dark eyes for me to realize what was going on. He was hitting on me. That was it, guys. That was on from page 18 to 21, I decided that, well, actually up to page 21, I decided that this wasn't going to happen. And let me tell you why. The author was just hitting it way too hard for me. Way too hard. Listen. Like I said, I like cozy mysteries because I love mysteries. I like the mystery mixed in with the hook. I was reading this book and, I'm already having my hesitations for the synopsis, snapping, brain matter, gray matter abilities and capabilities of the character of Abby. I already was kind of seeing something here that I wasn't really feeling with her. But what really just takes the cake, besides the author shooting a full RPG of love at me before I even really could get into the characters or the story itself, is there was no time within those 21 pages where we really got to start getting into the subject of flowers, this is a flower shop mystery, and I was hoping that we would get into that. Of course, I could read a nonfiction textbook on the subject of flowers, but like I said, I like the combination of mystery and hooks, flowers in this particular case. So we never got into, I wanted to at least look into how could the author move in that information of flowers alongside a mystery, and I would need like a couple of examples, something like, I wanted to know about like roses, or what's baby breaths, hydrangeas, or whatever you pronounce that, lilies, whatever, just the subject of flowers. But I just wanted to know, what were their Latin names for flowers? What is the Latin names for a rose, or a Latin name for baby's breath? Where were their origins? What were some of their roles within history? What were some of their particular lores within history? Just the subject of flowers. I was not getting anything on flowers. I didn't get anything on flowers that I was anticipating that would come up within this book. All that I got was some info, too many characters already, when I barely can even find some relatable semblance with the main protagonist. Info dumping on these characters, and a tall, dark, and handsome man coming in to, of course, hitch up to Abby's caboose so that they can be a riding force detective duo. And that was why I decided to DNF this book. I know it's very early, but I see just enough to let me know that Mom's the Word is not going to work. It's just not going to work. I've read enough books over this year already. 79 books. Honey, it's either sink or swim at this point. And unfortunately, Mom's the Word sinks. I'm going to have to move on to something else. But anyway, like I said, everything is not for everybody. It's just right. This is really just not my category. This is just really not my cup of tea. I see too many of the things that in this particular subgenre that really gets my goose already about to happen, and I just don't think it's the experience that I want. But anyway, for those who do love this book and this series, because it is a long-running series, then go ahead and shoot me a comment down below and we can chat about it. And of course, if those are anyone's here who felt the same way, I would equally love to hear from you as well. So that's it, guys. Mom's the Word. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. I'm going to move on to something else. Thanks for listening.